It's been a while, but it's hockey night. NorthJerseySports.com's original multimedia series talking all things ice hockey across North Jersey. I am Cory Dobiak, and the Cups, they are upon us. Now, this show follows a familiar pattern year in, year out. We come out of the gates like gangbusters. We are doing 3 shows a week, it seems like, for the first couple of weeks of the season. And then the hockey schedule really starts to bite, and we can barely find time to put episodes together. But we thought it was imperative. We, meaning myself and my one co-host tonight, the one illustrious member of my hockey panel of North Jersey hockey insiders, the great Kevin the Maven Sabella. What's going on, Maven?
Nothing much. Big weekend coming up here. The Cup playoffs. I love the format. I love the competitiveness. I mean, I think this year especially, you got a lot of good matchups in a lot of the Cups, and we're excited. I mean, the Hawks are excited. Hawk Cardinal Cavo, I should say. Right. And we're excited. But looking forward to it, man. Very excited. I know all the coaches will be excited as well.
Yes, one member that you will not hear on the show tonight is the great Cory Robinson, our other co-host. He was,
I know.
In a wacky juxtaposition. Cory Robinson was too busy with basketball to talk hockey, while I'm here talking hockey, too busy to go cover basketball. It's a wacky world, right? But we're going to have to march without him. So we are bringing in his stead a host of coaches here from across North Jersey, a guest list that you put together, and it is great. We are going to talk to Indian Hills head coach Anthony Tabbachino. His team is the number 2 seed in the Gold Cup. We also have another team in the Gold Cup, Brad Seagall of Mahwah. His team is the number 6. And then we are going to talk Bronze Cup, which we're going to do momentarily with you, but also a little bit later on with Passaic Valley head coach Mike Sheehan. And finally, we will talk Silver Cup with Mike Luchese, the head coach of the high-flying and red-hot Ridgewood Maroons. We're going to get to all that stuff shortly. But, Kev, let's kick things off because you are the co-host and because you set up an impromptu football show tonight with your cousin Dan Sabella, which you can also listen to here on NorthJerseySports.com. And because you put together this guest list, you have top billing tonight, my friend. We are going to talk about the aforementioned Riverdale / Westwood / Park Ridge, Golden Hawks, Cardinals / Cavos, or Owls, or whatever you are there. So, going into the Bronze Cup here, it's an exciting time for everybody, and, you talk about it from your team's perspective.
Well, thanks, Cor. Just like everybody, we're trying to get a little bit healthier. We don't have much time to get healthier. We got Ultapan coming up on Sunday. We played them 7 o'clock up. All games at the Ice Vault. We played them once already. I think it was a 3 or 4-1. Pretty even game. I mean, they got some good skaters. They're a tough league. I mean, they played St. Joe's twice, Highlands twice, Paramus twice, who all those teams are very good and in the gold. So their record is not as good as it should be, but they have some skaters. That they're not big, but they got a bunch of good skaters. They got a very good little defenseman who I really like. A very good goalie. So, we certainly have our hands full, but good news for us. I mean, we have 2 goalies that are very good. So, we'll see how that goes. So we know we're going to get good goaltending on Sunday. And for us, it's just a matter of taking advantage of our opportunities and limiting their opportunities. I know that sounds pretty elementary, but, we're not going to skate up and down with too many teams, which is fine. But when we were playing well and when we do play well, we get good goaltending, we take advantage of our opportunities, and we stay out of the penalty box. So if we can do those things, we'll be in the game. And we look forward to it. We made a nice run last year to capture the Bronze Cup, so we're hoping to to replicate that.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more broadly about this format here. It's something that hockey does very well, keeping teams involved, as the season goes on, no matter what your level is. So, if you're in the Bronze Cup, sounds like, and we've done the interviews for tonight, it sounds like everybody who's in it feels like, hey, if we can just do this, we got a shot. All the way up from bronze, all the way through gold, I think there are a lot of teams that feel similar. So I think that's, all kidding aside, we love to bust Cory Robinson's chops, but he does a good job as well as everybody else who's responsible for putting this thing together. It's not just him, there's a bunch of people. But, real good job of keeping everybody involved as we move into the Cups.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, for those who don't know Cory, I mean, unless we on Mars, I mean, who's not only was an unbelievable coach and player, I mean, he has the pulse of New Jersey hockey. He understands, what needs to be done. And like you just said, I mean, he was basically set this up and is in charge of this and does a great job. So kudos to him. But, in this tournament, like you said, it gives you a chance. I mean, I remember 2 years ago, we were in the same division, and we were in first place, and we were ecstatic about going into the Gold Cup. We played Lakeland, we beat Lakeland, then we had to move on and we lost to Glenrock in overtime. So, if look at Clifton this year. They're in the Gold. They get a chance to play Indian Hills.
Yep.
Chance to tell everybody you can play with the big boys. So from that sense, it's good. And then I'm on the other side of the mountain this year where, we're down in the dumps, but you know what? Now it gives the kids maybe a chance to play for like it did for us last year, where you're trying to win a cup and something to play for when, things didn't go so well for this year, for us in the league. So, and the silver, I'll tell you right now, there's some really good teams in the silver.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Ridgewood play a top team in the state, Madison, the 2 goals, and Ridgewood's in the silver. So, I think it like you said, it worked out good as far as where the teams landed in the cup, and you're going to see some close scores, I think, over the weekend games.
All right, can we make a pact that those are the last compliments and nice words we pay tribute to and bestow upon our missing co-host, Cory Robinson? I mean, I thought you said it very well, and I thought it was well-deserved, but enough already.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, he's probably also down in the dumps. I mean, not that my Rangers are playing well, but I mean, his Bruins really aren't, doing anything to help his nerves or whatever you want to say. So, we'll give him a break.
Yes, and we're going to hold off on his beloved Grade 8 NHL hockey rankings this week too.
Yeah,
we will not continue that until he is capable of rejoining us. Taking time out of his busy schedule to returning to his first love, which is It's Hockey Night on NorthJerseySports.com. So let's move on now. Let's kick this thing off with our first guest of the evening. He joins us on the Felician University hotline. He is the head coach of the number 2 seed in the Gold Cup. He is Anthony Tabbachino. Coach, thanks for joining us here on It's Hockey Night.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm very sorry that my co-host, Kevin the Maven Sabella, kept you waiting for so long. It's very rude.
No issue. Kev's a good guy. I owe him a few, so this is fine.
Great. So let's jump right in here. Obviously the games get bigger as the season moves along here, and you got a big one on Friday night against Clifton. Just talk about that opportunity that's right here in front of your kids.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's season number 2 for everybody now who's been fortunate enough to move on. And I think, it's hopefully we were kind of doing the math on it. It seems like we'll have a maximum of 7 games left, possibly. A max of 7 and a minimum of 2. So we're just going to try and extend that thing to 7 as much as possible. And with that, we got a tough team on Friday, obviously, and we want to come out and try and take care of ourselves and hopefully play a good game and kind of see where the chips fall.
Have you played Clifton this year?
No, we haven't played him yet. We know about him. we got some good eyes on him, and but we haven't played him yet. So
go ahead, Kev.
Well, Tabs, what's the you guys have had a great season, obviously, ranked in the state, doing a great job with that team. What's the state of the union right now with the Indian Hills Braves?
little pun. I think tonight is the State of the Union address. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'll try and so I gotta watch that. Good reminder. I think for the most part, I mean, at this point of the year, it's a lot of hockey, and we've kind of gave the kids about, they had a little close to a week off actually. The way the schedule worked, which was nice, gave them some optional practices, and just trying to keep them rested because you don't want to drive them into the ground. Especially, you got to kind of listen to them. Also, they needed a little bit of a breather, to be honest, which is different from what we did last year. So, kind of learning from mistakes from last year, where we fell off at the end. We're hopefully going to have a better showing in the playoffs. But I think all the typical hockey stuff that goes on. You get, some guys banged up, some guys hurting, some guys playing, tired. It's that time of year, but it becomes a will thing. And I think I'm comfortable where we're at right now. That's the long, the short answer of it. I'm comfortable where we're at going in. I think we're in a better spot than we were last year.
You've had a whole season now, or just about one, to see your kids. I mean, just talk about some of the kids, not even kids who've been in, but ones who've made big strides and turned themselves into real good varsity hockey players here, or whoever else you want to mention too. But they've gotten a chance to grow here, and who's done the most of it?
Yeah, I mean, we have a long list for that.
It's good.
I think. I mean, at the end of the day, we're only as the players are the ones that are playing this game, so you have to have good personalities and good players. We definitely have some characters, that I can tell you, but we have some kids that really play. I love the way our team plays hockey, specifically this year, and I think there's been more of a kind of a bond going on as opposed to years in the past, where they really are kind of honing in and focused on this goal of trying to make a deep run, not just in leagues, but also in states as well. I think you look at it like a defenseman like Mike Baggy, right, who's come on and just played terrific minutes for us. Like, not going to blow you away on the stat sheet, but it's just logged some serious minutes. Forward, obviously we have our two main guys. We got Rory Maurer and Jason Atkinson. Jay is playing fantastic. And then we have a kid who is very quiet. All 3 years, he's our lead. He's got 40 points this year, roughly around 42 points, I think. Thomas Moskal, who is just doing, he's up to around the 70, pushing the 80 point mark coming up for his career. So, we have a junior class that's going to have 3 kids gunning for 100 points next year, which is, that's a lot. That says a lot about that group. But we, honestly, I could go on. Between just the way we've been playing, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great ride. Brock Pfizer, great player. Drew Lustig has been having one of the best years, just as an overall, leader and teammate. I can't even, I don't really have the words I'd have to think about that one for a while, because I'm very happy with that regard. That was something that was lacking in the past, and we've had guys that are kind of taking that under control, and it's really, Kev could tell you too, that's as important as scoring. You have to have the right mindset, you have to have the right, frame of mind to compete in these games, and that's why I'm much more comfortable with where we were from last year to this year. So, obviously, you look at our stat sheet, we have our guys that you'll see, but overall, just in general, every kid in our roster has just been absolutely terrific for us. No issues, just playing the game and having fun.
Kev, how great of an answer was that?
Listen, I talking to him last year, I could tell the difference in his voice. They are ready for a deep run here with Tabs, with not only the Cup, but with the State. But Tabs, last one for me is looking at your schedule. Yeah. I love how you are never afraid to go out and play somebody. For this year specifically, I just looked at your schedule just real quick.
Right.
Not to talk about any teams here, but obviously talk about your schedule a little bit and how that has helped you get to where you are now.
Yeah, we had the potential to add a few games towards the end there, but kind of going on the conversation of rest, and I was happy with our resume, honestly, at 17-4.
Yeah.
You look at our games, I was pretty happy with it. Even our losses made for one or two, they made sense. So I mean, I was comfortable. I didn't think we had to make much more of a impression than we already have for the seating committee, and the rest was also tied into that too. Let's play a few less games so we're not getting banged up and give these kids a little bit of a breather. But I mean, like games like Summit, right? Summit was a big one. That was a great game. Summit Lakeland is a very interesting team to play against. They're in our league, so we played them twice, and very difficult to play against, to be honest. And I said it to Nick the one time. The second game we played them when we won 4-0, not the 2-1 loss that we had, the 4-0 win we had. I thought they had a better game against us than they did the 2-1 game, and which is ironic to say, but it was. Watching, I think our league is getting more credit than it has in the past because of what teams are doing. Like Crouch's team went out and they beat Randolph 4-2, right?
Yeah,
that's a big win right there. That's a big win. So it just helps our weight in our conference, and I mean we haven't really had a time. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. You caught me off guard. I don't know if you have any games you want to shout out at me, but I mean the Summit game was big. The Seton Hall loss game was. It was still a good game. Like, it was a close game, honestly. The score wasn't very indicative. I think the shots were even, and they got a few bounces their way early. And then, Morris Knowles was just, that was a good one. Morris Knowles we were actually losing that one 4-1. Side note, you get a kick out of this one. I got thrown out of that one, but we came back and won it 5-4 with about 3 minutes left. So that was nice because in the past teams like that we've had 4-1 late in the game, I don't know if they're pulling that off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the fight is there, which is different as opposed to previous years. So. I don't know. I'm trying to think who else we got. The Freehold game was obviously a non-league one. That was a nice one. And then, we had the Montclair game. But to be honest with you, Montclair did a great job against us in regards to they capitalized on their. I still feel, and I can honestly say this, I still feel we controlled the majority of that play. Their goaltender played fantastic, and then they capitalized. Like they capitalized on any chance they got. I want to say the shots were like 30-ish to 15, if I remember right, and they put 4 in. So, I mean, any opportunity, that's why the game is such a great game, because you have to show up and you have to capitalize on your chances. And not taking, they easily could beat us again if we played them again. But in regards to us, how we played that game, it wasn't like, we failed. If that makes sense. It was just we ran into a hot goaltender, and they did everything they had to do. So, honestly, they deserve all the credit for that one for sure. But I wasn't even really that upset with how the team played. It just bounces didn't go our way, and that's the game. So, I don't know if I missed any on there, but
No.
It's very informative here.
Sorry, you got me recapping quick. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, listen, coaches, you'd be surprised when you listen. If you do listen back to this, you're going to be surprised how much information you just threw out there. So off the top of your head, I've talked to a zillion coaches over the years, and just the way that you guys pull things. I cover a million games. I can't remember where I was yesterday, the day before. You guys are like, second period, second shift. That one kid, he caught an edge, and if it wasn't for that, whatever. So. Great stuff here tonight. We appreciate it. We are glad that we got the It's Hockey Night back up and rolling here. With the absence of the great Cory Robinson, we are making do because of guys like you, Anthony Tabbachino, who came on and just gave us a great interview. So we really appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much, and obviously all the all the other teams in the Big North. Best of luck in the States, and I look forward to seeing what everybody does. So. It's hopefully going to be a good one.
Great stuff, Coach.
Go get him, Tab. Go get him.
Thanks, Tab. Appreciate it. And thanks for having me, guys. And hopefully we talk again.
Let's do it.
Something good happen.
Yes. Yeah, because I feel like we have permanently ditched Cory Robinson, so therefore we will be more available to do these types of interviews. Hey, Coach Tabbachino, thanks again, and best of luck. Go get him.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, sticking in the Gold Cup race here, we are going to welcome in another guest. This one, the head coach of the 6th-seeded Mahwah Thunderbirds, going to take part in one of the most interesting matchups on the opening weekend of the Cup. He is Brad Seagall. Coach, thanks for joining us here on It's Hockey Night.
Guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, well, we want to jump into this with you, the number 6 seed, and playing number 3, Lakeland, Friday night in a 7 p.m. first drop of the puck at the Ice Vault. I mean, really, Kevin and I were talking a little bit off the air, and this is one of the marquee matchups. I mean, the Gold Cup, 2 evenly matched teams, and should be a lot of fun on Friday night.
Listen, let me tell you, every time we play Lakeland, without fail, it's always a dogfight. I mean, I looked at our overall record against them over the last 4 years, and I'm pretty sure we're 4-4-1, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. So every time we play them, it's always back and forth. I mean, it's games usually decided by 1 or 2 goals, and like I said, it's just always a dogfight.
You guys know each other so well. You play each other so often. As you said, 4-4-1, 9 games. You split them. I mean, do you try anything new in practice? Do you say, "Hey, we're going to play them. Let's throw this at them," or is it really a matter of you can't?
Yeah. I mean, well, I always tell my guys, like, I always feel like high school hockey in particular is kind of like just a who wants them more kind of a league. Like on any day, I feel like anybody can beat anybody. So if you don't come ready to play and ready to go, I just always feel like that. You're not going to win. So I mean, yeah. While we do change up strategies, because and you guys know this, like, teams just change over the course of a season.
Yes.
Like when we first played them, that was opening weekend, and opening weekend is always it's always crazy because there's a lot of emotion, a lot of everybody's new, so it's we probably both have very different teams now. So, so like, I mean, we do change up strategies. Like I said, because you want to try to get something different. I mean, I know what Nick runs. Nick knows what I run. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot of surprises there, but, you got to change it up a little bit to be able to, otherwise things are just going to get stagnant, and otherwise you're going to get beat too.
Yeah, and it's a matter of who's healthy, who's sick, who's hurt, who's this, who's got kids missing. So, so many variables, when you play them first week of the season to last week of the regular season, at least, anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so much different. So different. So, but like I said, it's Lakeland. For whatever reason, us and Lakeland just have been very evenly matched over the last 4 years. So I'm expecting nothing less. I think every single time it's like 2-2 going into the third period. I'm kind of pretty much expecting nothing less, coming in on Friday night.
Now, Kev, this is the program that you headed fearlessly before the Mahwah administration got smart and moved you along and brought in Coach Seagall. No, but Kev, I know you still got a lot of light blue in your closet, so this has to be fun for you to watch these guys from afar, huh?
Absolutely. Well, it's funny because, got the Mahwah light blue in the closet, and Crouch, I coached when he was at Riverdale. So, tough one for me to pick sides on that game. But
we're going to make you do it. Who are you rooting for?
Oh, come on. I can't be. Listen, I'm worried about 0-10. So that's the only thing I'm worried about.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen, Brad, with big senior class as far as player talent goes. You got Selman in net. You got KJ, Rocco. Talk a little bit about this senior group. They've come a long way. They've kind of set the standard for your younger guys there. Talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, we got a great senior class. I mean, not as big as like an Indian Hill senior class, but we have a really good senior class. I mean, when you have a goal, you never appreciate a goaltender until you become a coach. And you understand, like now that I've had Thomas for the last few years, I mean, he's just been such a rock for us. And he just, having him has been huge, and just setting the standard for the kids, and, showing him. And I think we played Ryan all but one game this year. So, I mean, he's just been, like I said, just a rock for us in that. And Kevin Johnson has just developed into just he's a beast. So he just, grew into his body. Now he's, now he can skate, pass, and shoot just, with the best of them. So he's been fantastic. And Rocco too. I mean, getting someone from Bosco was it's just a great, it's just a great win for us. So
yeah,
but yeah, having all these guys has just been, such a luxury to have such a great senior class.
I've seen. Oh, sorry, Cor, but I've seen a lot of different names in the paper for scoring. I mean, from I don't care. No, it's great. Talk a little bit about that. You have some balance in scoring there.
Yeah, good job, Kevin. You've been following us a little bit. I mean,
well, he feels responsible for all of your success. So go ahead.
When the time comes to I leave, I'm doing the same thing. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you know what? Like when the season first began, we had some wins. We beat Lakeland. But I think Kev Johnson had a hat trick in basically every single game. No lie. And, we beat Ramsey, we beat everybody. But I gotta be honest with you, I was not that happy because I knew you can't maintain that, and, Kev got hurt for a little bit and, we moved Rocco to offense, cause we just needed some more firepower up front and we had to just switch a couple of lines around and now, everybody else is scoring. Everybody actually besides Kevin is scoring, which is huge because we just needed you need a balanced attack. We got exposed a couple times. Guys just figuring guys were just keying on Kevin and just manning up on him. So we had to kind of figure some things out. Like I said before, how the season changes so much, your identity changes the team a little bit too. So. We've just figured out ways now and different combinations of how to get other guys involved in scoring more. And that as a coach just makes me, happier than anything. Cause when you're very one player heavy, that's not a recipe for success. I don't think,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, absolutely.
How about just, the batteries? Not that they run down, but, it's a long season. It's, late nights at the rink and everything else. And then the cup, the cup is here, and then the state playoffs right around the corner. I mean, can you feel that momentum and that second wind kick in now for the Thunderbirds? I mean, I'm sure every coach is feeling it.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, the late Sunday night games at the Ice Vault are not cutting it. We are over that. We've had every single game this year. We've had 8 o'clock on Sunday night, which is just not cutting it for us.
Brutal.
It's brutal. I'm actually pretty happy the way that, I feel like we're trending in the right direction towards the end of the season, So, you kind of have these ups and downs, I feel like, throughout the season, but now, it's kind of always been our goal. We wanted to make sure we won the league, get into the Gold Cup, and, and now we want to go as far as possible now with this cup, with the cup, and then obviously into states. But I feel like the batteries are, the juice is there. I feel like, everybody's going in the right direction. Everybody's got their, heads on straight, and now it's time to put the best foot forward.
I think you said it well. Kev, anything else for the coach?
Yeah. No. I thank him for coming on, and I'm looking forward to following this game on Friday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on It's Hockey Night. We'll talk to you around state tournament time. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, moving on now to the Bronze Cup, which will also be played this Friday at the Ice Vault in Wayne in a 5 p.m. start. It is the 6th-seeded Fairlawn Cutters against the 3rd-seeded Passaic Valley Hornets, who are coached by our next guest here as we welcome in Mike Sheehan. Mike, thanks for joining us here on It's Hockey Night.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, listen, this is the fun part of the season. That's why we got the show fired back up again. Cory Robinson unable to join us tonight, but Kevin Sabella and I both were saying, you know what, we got to get back to it because playoff hockey is a lot of fun to talk about, and you got to be looking forward to this matchup here with the Cutters.
No, absolutely, We tied them the first time, and we didn't think we had our best game. We got the better of them last week, but we know, from the first game, we know we can't take them lightly. So, we're excited. I think, don't want to look too far ahead, but I think we think we match up well with all 6 teams in the tournament, and we'll see what happens.
Now, forgive my ignorance. I didn't check before. What was the outcome the first time that you played Fairlawn?
We tied them the first time, and then we beat them 7-1 last Monday.
Okay, so that's a good measuring stick. Go ahead, Kev.
Well, Mike and I played each other last weekend. I was impressed with the team's hard work. We both had some guys missing, But Mike, I you know, like I just said, you guys, you had some guys that were really working hard. You know, give the audience some guys that, you know, have been playing well for you so far.
Well, obviously, I think the big guy, and especially in the game against UCAV, was Stefan Schimpf. He's one of our captains. He's our top defenseman. One of our 3 leading scorers this year, and really doesn't get a lot of credit. But you know, in the past 2 seasons, especially, he's really stepped up his game, and you know, he's just an unbelievable worker and just doesn't lose one-on-one battles. And you know, he stepped up against you guys and had an assist on the tying goal and scored the winning goal. So you know, he's a guy that I definitely would like to see get more publicity. Also, Sammy Jafrida, who missed last weekend's games, but he's been our cog offensively all year, and he's missed some time in the last month. That's kind of when our season kind of went off the rails a little bit when he got hurt. But he's back now, so that'll be good heading into the playoffs here. Also, Ryan Humes and Nico Dimitrakiou up front, and Nicky DiNardo in the net.
Is this, how many years is this of the co-op with Cedar Grove for you?
This is year 6.
Year 6. And how is it going? I mean, you know, we've talked about it on a couple of prior shows, you know, numbers-wise and everything else. I mean, do you feel like you've meshed into one program, or are you still trying to knit kids together? You know, how does that work here with, you know, you've had ample time to put it in place, but do you feel like you're reintroducing kids every year, or is it kind of getting to be more, you know, intertwined?
You know, well, the good thing is that for the last 6 or 7 years, really 6 years now since we had the co-op, we've had a middle school program, and that's definitely helped because you know, but you know, when we get the kids in high school, they already know each other for the most part from middle school. I mean, eventually you do get a couple of new kids that haven't played in the middle school program, but for the most part, they all know each other, so that helps. The other advantage I think that we had is, you know, that it was a new program. Cedar Grove had never had a program, so. You know, it was, you know, hey, these guys are playing on our team now, and this is how it's going to be. And there wasn't any animosity. It wasn't like you were taking 2 arch rivals, like, say, the Wayne schools, and putting them together and saying, all right, you guys got to be teammates now. So it was, you know, it was a natural fit. And, you know, we were going through some rough times. So it's just, you know, it's helped us kind of get back on our feet and get back competitive. So, you know, it's been a good fit. And, you know, especially with our schools only being about 7 minutes apart. We're both about 5 minutes from Floyd Hall, so it's really been a good fit.
Huh. Yeah, no, it does. It sounds good. All right, Kev, you're in this bracket with them. You know, are we going to make a bet here? Kev, you win your first round game, and Coach Sheehan wins his first round game. I mean, are we betting a sandwich? What do we got here for round 2?
Well...
yeah, I know you're both going to say we both got to get there first. All right, go ahead. Give me some coach speak.
Well, I think... You know, to be fair, if Mike and I could get a win here round 1, especially Mike here, you know, it is coming around in about another month. Maybe we'll get some nice spring weather. Maybe we'll get Mr. Robinson to come over, a little power wash, you know, possibly the house, you know, the patio area.
Yes, now you're talking.
I think that's the only, you know, the only fair thing to do, and I think Mike would agree, correct?
Oh, totally.
He's so unreliable, though.
Yeah, true. Well, he's probably over at the Fair and Lawn Gym right now. I think they got Wayne Hills, he said. I was probably busy. But, no, our bracket core, I mean, you know, like Mike said, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, and Mike knows more hockey teams than a lot of coaches, including myself. And we'll get Mike on again towards states, and he'll run down each bracket for us. But I think Mike would agree in the cups, gold, silver, and bronze, right, Mike? You're going to see a lot of good games, I think.
There are going to be a lot of good games, absolutely. I think, you know, the gold, I think, is going to be obviously the showcase, but, you know, don't sleep on the silver. You got some good teams playing in the silver this year. I mean, you do every year, but this year in particular, you know, you got Ridgewood's getting hot. Wayne is, you know, has been pretty good lately. You know, Ramsey's been pretty good lately, and don't sleep on Glenrock and Tenafly's getting their guys back in the silver. You know, in our division, you know, obviously Ramapo and West Milford are, you know, are trying to prove that, you know, they've been stuck in tough divisions all year and they're competitive against everybody else. And, you know, you and I are trying to prove that, you know, hey, we went through some ups and downs, but we're trying to get things, you know, finish up on a high note.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What'd I tell you, Corey? I mean, this guy can run down brackets for us.
It's so great. I'm looking forward to the state tournament show, too. Yeah, no, it's great. I am happy that the It's Hockey Night is back up and running. I am happy that Passaic Valley / Cedar Grove head coach Mike Sheehan joined us here on this edition. And, Coach, best of luck going forward. Now, listen, I'm supposed to be impartial. I'm an impartial observer. I'm a journalist. I have no rooting interest in any of this stuff. But really, I can't have you back on the show if you don't beat Fairlawn, because then I got to hear it from Cory Robinson. So
we'll do our best. Like I said, we had a tough one the first time, but we know we got to show up and play, and we'll do our best on Friday.
Mike Sheehan, thanks for joining us here on It's Hockey Night.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Kev, from Bronze Cup, we switch to Silver Cup now as we welcome in the head coach of the Ridgewood Maroons. He is Mike Luchese. Coach, thanks for joining us here on It's Hockey Night.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to talk some hockey.
Yes, and it's a pleasure to talk some hockey with you as well because, as I mentioned, you are the number 3 seed in the Silver Cup, and your kids are playing extremely well right now, probably as well as they have all season. Give us a little state of the state of Ridgewood Maroon hockey right now.
Well, I think we're trending in the right direction. We went through our ups and downs, throughout the course of the season. And I think we learned a lot about ourselves. We have a bunch of young guys, that kind of had to learn the ropes and adjust to the speed of high school hockey and, kind of learn the ins and outs and things they need to do to be successful. And we're starting to hit our stride a little bit. I think we're definitely playing better. We're playing faster now. We're by no means perfect, but I think we're definitely improved from the way we were early in the season. So we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kev.
Well, here's why I like, one of the many reasons why I like Coach Luchese. He will go out, Corey, and he'll play anybody. I happened to see him the other night. He picked up Madison High School, and I know you know nothing about Madison High School ice hockey,
right.
But they are very good, top in the men in division, beat up on the men in division teams, and Mike's team was right there with them. They lost 5-3. They had some chances early, no excuses, but and I think that's a big reason. And Mike that's part of my question is, Mike, with the schedule that you created for your team. Can you talk a little bit about that and where it's kind of, given where your team is now?
I think that has a lot to do with it, and I think scheduling some of the better teams around is going to make you better. It'll most likely will expose some weaknesses, and it helps you to improve. It'll show where you need to improve, what you need to work on. And I think it raises your level. It challenges you. It challenges all the kids. They know, it's amazing how much they know about their opponents. Even before coach gives you a scouting report, they know about, who plays with who and on different travel teams and what kids to watch out for. And they all kind of get a heightened state. They raise their level, and it really pushes you to be better. So, when you set up a schedule like that in practice, you challenge them. You let them know that this is what's on our plate ahead of us, and in order to compete and to play with these teams, we have to do X, Y, and Z in order to compete with these teams. So I think that's kind of the thought process behind setting up a schedule like that and help to prepare your team for this time of year, really.
Have you played Paramus Catholic this year?
We haven't. It's unfortunate. Keith and I think, had talked, and we tried to set a game up or two. The dates just didn't work out the way our schedules were laid out. But it has been such a really good rivalry for us when we were playing in the same division for a number of years. We faced off with them in cups for a while. So it's always been a good back and forth. But I don't think we played them in 2 years.
Wow. Well, so good. Even better. You played other people out, and then you get back in touch with everything on the line, the Cup playoffs. So that should be fun. Kev, go ahead.
Mike, what have you guys been doing a little bit different lately? You talked a little bit about your youth a little bit, but what, have you seen a couple things that have said that, like, all right, good, the light switch, has gone off here?
Well, we had some guys in and out of lineup with some injuries, so we had to juggle our lineup a little bit throughout some different games. So I think we've been pretty consistent with our lineup recently, and I think that helps, and it's built some chemistry, in our top two lines. They've kind of gotten used to playing with each other, and I think they just got a better feel for, who's going to be hit first in or hard on the forecheck, and their communication on the ice has gotten better. And really, I think that our young guys, a lot of on the back end, have just gotten better and better as the years gone on. They've done up until some of the parts of the Madison game, we've done a good job of taking care of the puck, especially in our own end and our defensive zone coverage. We really worked on improving our defensive zone coverage, and I think that's helped a lot. And we protected the puck better than we were early in the year. So I think those two things have helped. We've become a little bit more defensive-minded, but we've created offense because of that.
Coach, we've talked tonight and we've talked on shows past so much about the co-ops. I mean, you're still out there roughing it on your own. How about the state of hockey in Ridgewood? I mean, is this sustainable? It's nice to see. I mean, I know you're a big school, but that doesn't mean as much in hockey as it does in, say, football or basketball or whatever else, because it's a specialized sport. Are you guys doing well numbers-wise? And, does it look like you're going to be able to stay on your own for the, foreseeable future?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. We have our sophomore and our freshman class. We have about 12 in each of those classes, roughly.
Wow.
So they're two, there's two really strong classes, back to back in terms of numbers and quality of players. We have 35 total kids in the program, so we're doing pretty good in terms of that. And then looking down into the middle school age grouping, from like 6th to 8th grade, I think we have around 30-ish players in there. So I think we're going to be okay. I know there's the Ridgewood Ice Hockey Booster Club has really worked hard to try to cultivate youth hockey in town and tried to make it, kind of an all-purpose. We try to get all the different levels kind of in touch. We've run some clinics. We've run the middle school teams in the spring and in the summers, and we have some dads helping out and setting things up. So it's been work, but I think it's set up to sustain at least, not to have to go to a co-op situation for a while. At least we hope.
That's great. That way. Yeah, great. Yeah. Kev, anything else for the coach?
No. He sounds like he's been watching some film, though. He's got that hockey. Sounds like he's in mode, man. He's in mode.
He's locked in. How many Paramus Catholic games have you seen on tape in the last 24 hours, Coach?
Oh, that's a really good question. I was just searching around to see if I could find any. But I was talking about this with some of the guys on the team. We were talking, do you guys remember the last time that we played Paramus Catholic? And a few of my seniors certainly remember because we were in the Prudential Center.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
Good.
And we came up on a short end of that one. So we got some guys that are excited to play.
Yeah, I was going to say you don't need any "Do you believe in miracle" speeches here. These kids are going to be flying out of the locker room. Great stuff. Mike Luchese, the head coach of the Ridgewood Maroons. Thanks for joining us here on It's Hockey Night, and best of luck going forward in the Cup playoffs. Have fun.
Corey, thanks a lot. Kev, always a pleasure. Yeah, good luck to you too.
All right, and we'll catch up with you when the state tournament rolls around, Coach. Thanks again.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Kev, first of all, great job. It was home run after home run after home run. All of the guests here this evening on It's Hockey Night. And second of all, I am hockeyed out, brother.
Yes, that was a lot of hockey. It feels like we just ate like a humongous meal. You know what I mean?
Yes, the tryptophan is kicking in. The hockey tryptophan.
Yeah, exactly. But all great coaches, and we're gonna have some good games this weekend. And sounds like I can hear it in all the voices. Everyone's getting ready for these big games. The tightrope is tightening, and the coach is going to be ready to go. Ice Wolf's going to be jumping Friday through Sunday, I can tell you that.
We heard it in everybody's voice except Mike Luchese, who needed a Hall's cough drop. But other than that, I can't agree with you more. All right, great stuff here. Now, listen, we have laid down the marker. We have done an episode of It's Hockey Night without our fearless leader, Cory Robinson, so we can do this again if necessary. We would love to be back at full strength, skating 3-a-side here on the show. But should that not be available down the stretch here, It's Hockey Night, Kev, safe to say, is back for the rest of the season, and we're going to take you right through the state tournament?
Listen, I'm here. You know that.
Yes.
You know I'm here. And listen, come on. We got faith in our man. He will be back in his captain's chair. He will be ready to rock. It might be a little bit about, the Bruins.
Right.
We'll let him talk about that a little bit. But, yeah, I'm ready to roll here. And, right after the Cup, we got the state. So we're ready to go, man.
A little red wine, a little Boston Bruins. Oh, I look forward to the day. We will see you next week on It's Hockey Night.
Follow the leader.